Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. A warm welcome to today's session, Saudha Facebook Live and concert series. Many thanks for your great support for this series. As most of you know, we are almost appearing almost every day for last 3.5 months. So many thanks for your great support, and many thanks to all of these artists who helped us immensely to continue this wonderful series, and many thanks to audience who found it as a way of redemption. So this live is now available in Saudha Facebook Live and concert series, Saudha Ghazal, Tumri and Khayal Festival, and this is also available in Saudha Arts, all of the partners of Saudha, and this should be available in my profile as well. So those who have already joined, kindly share to your friends, to your timeline, so that your friends, your followers can watch this beautiful session of music, world music, and world-class dance performance. Let me, as you know, this session is featuring like we do, global music, global poetry, global dance, and as part of our commitment to promote global music or global art forms, we are featuring one of the finest bandoneon player from Argentina, Guillermo Willis. Many thanks, Guillermo, for joining, and a warm welcome to today's session. Guillermo, you are on mute. If you kindly unmute yourself.
Hello to everyone. Many thanks, Ahmed, for asking me to share your event with you, your venue. And I'm actually very pleased to be here this evening, and actually in Buenos Aires, but we are sharing our place. And I'll be delighted to play some of my tango pieces, and I have some strange as well to play. And of course, we are going to talk as well about them.
Great. Many thanks, Guillermo, for joining. This session is available in my profile, Guillermo, if you'd like to share it. This is available. This is streaming live.
Yes, from excellent. I've shared it already, yes.
Okay. Many thanks. As you know, we'll come back to Guillermo. We'll start with a dance performance, and just giving a brief introduction on Guillermo. Buenos Aires born bandoneon player and an art historian, Guillermo Willis first approached tango music through the recordings of Anibal Troilo and Astor Piazzolla. In his teenage years, he became absolutely fascinated by the instrument after hearing Rodolfo Medeiros playing live, which led him to study at the Manuel de Falla School of Music in Buenos Aires. Over the past years, Guillermo had been playing both as a soloist and also in typical ensembles of tango music, such as Cuinet, Trascarton, and La Picaro Tango. He had also been actively playing London tango dance halls, and occasionally collaborated with the London Chamber Orchestra and the London Tango Orchestra. So many thanks, Guillermo. It's an absolute pleasure to have you as part of this series. We also have a wonderful Kathak dance exponent, V. Anuradha Singh ji. Many thanks, Anuradha Singh ji, for joining as part of this series, and a warm welcome to today's session. You are on mute at this moment. If you kindly unmute yourself. Mithul, if you kindly tell, if you kindly unmute Anuradha ji.
अनुराधा जी आप अनम्यूट कर लेंगे खुद को?
Yeah,
right.
many thanks. Thank you very much for joining as part of this series, and a warm welcome to today's session.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you. And also, I will come back to you, Anuradha ji, because we'll start with your performance. But let me introduce our regular panel members. Part and parcel of this series, a wonderful friend of us, a spoken word artist, Shahid Mithul. Many thanks for joining, and a warm welcome to today's session.
Thank you so much. Heartiest welcome to Guillermo and Anuradha ji. Looking forward to the performances.
Many thanks, Mithul. Many thanks to our other panel member, one of the finest Indian semi-classical vocalists here in Britain, a founder of a wonderful organization based in the north of England, Pratibha Performing Arts, Srimati Shumona Mullik Boshu. Many thanks, Shumona, for joining, and a warm welcome to today's session.
Thank you. Lovely to be back here again after a little gap. So nice to see you all. And, looking forward to another gorgeous, very nice classical music concert. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are starting with a bit of performance. V. Anuradha Singh ji dance. We are starting with a dance performance, and then we'll go back to Guillermo. Anuradha Singh ji is a spectacular signature in the field of performing classical Kathak dance, and a highly appreciated who has dedicated herself to perfecting Ragnath Gharana dance form. Unfortunately, there is some sound coming from somewhere. She has performed more than 600 solo, highly reputed stage performances spread across the India and abroad. Anuradha Singh ji is empaneled solo Kathak dance artist in outstanding category of Indian culture relation, Festival of India in abroad, Ministry of Culture, Government of India. Most eminent dancer in the domain of classical Kathak dance, with the long list of solo participation in many reputed stage of India and abroad, which are full house, enthralled audiences, and assertion from connoisseurs and stalwarts of Indian classical dance. All her Kathak performances display more than half dozen unique high energetic classical compositions, which have intricately woven the classical elements of pure Kathak expresses the very soul of Indian feeling and thought. Ladies and gentlemen, let us start with Anuradhaji's performance. Let us get immersed in the beautiful visual style of Anuradhaji. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I will start my performance with Shiva Vandana, Lord Shiva, Natraj. It is in 5 beats, Sul Fakta Tal. Yeah, on this. Play, please. अभी आपने देखा just you watched Shiva Vandana of 5 Now I would like to present Layakari, variety of rhythms of foot band. It is based on foot percussion art. Now I will present Tarana in Rag Hans Dhwani. Hans Dhwani Rag is the ancient Rag of India. You will watch Lord Krishna and Radha. The small stories of Panghat and the festival, Holi, colorful festival of India.
Great. Thank you. Thank you very much. What a sacred and celestial start. Many, many thanks. So it's a Tarana on Rag Hamsadhwani, and then we'll move back to Guillermo. Many thanks. Many thanks, Anuradha ji, for such a beautiful start. Many thanks for such a beautiful, sacred and celestial start. We will come back to you. We'll come back to you in a few minutes. Let us go back to Guillermo. Many thanks. I'm sure everyone has to say something on this beautiful, hypnotic, breathtaking visual interpretation of music through Kathak. Shumana would like to add anything before we move on to Mitul and get some audience's feedback and move on to Guillermo afterwards?
I'd like to say something to Anuradha ji, that I haven't seen so many chakras in one single performance. And she has performed 4 small items, starting from Shiva at the beginning, then footwork only, and then the Jugalbandi with violin, then from Shiva, then you became Radha. So that transition, I enjoyed it so much. And आपको घूमते हुए और चक्कर्स के साथ तो मेरा चक्कर आ गया था अनुराधा जी. And how do you manage to do so many chakras in one single performance? My goodness, I was just mesmerized watching you perform.
Absolutely incredible.
Beautiful performance.
Many thanks, Mitul. If you kindly get some audience's feedback, I'm sure audience is inundating with, the audience thread has been inundated with many feedback. Inspiring comments I can see. If you kindly read from there.
Started with feedbacks and comments. Purva Kaul, best wishes to everyone. Thank you so much to the digital tools for connecting us. Tapush Rai, morning shows the day. Looking for mesmerizing performances. Kalin Vinod, A-class performance. Sunil Furia, absolutely mesmerizing.
अब इसके बाद से कौन सा लगाओगे? पायल या झनकाए?
Yeah, please go on.
Highly energetic performance. Anushuya Singh, you are the queen of classical dance. Usha Singh, outstanding flamboyant performance in the world. Vinod Shivaraman, great sharpness in dance. Then Amruta Singh, we are honored to be part of this event. Best wishes, ma'am, written Puva Kaul. Then Gabi Sambusheti O Sam.
J.B. Sambusiti is a poet friend, Argentine poet friend. So many thanks those who already have left beautiful, inspiring comments. We will come back to you. Just to let you know, please do, those who are watching, please do share and let your friends have the opportunity to be the part of this wonderful, breathtaking session of music and dance. And I'm sure you all agree with the starting bit. It was absolutely hypnotic. So please do share and show some of those who are new to this platform. This is Saudha. You can find details in www.saudha.org, one of the leading Indian classical and global music promoting organization here in Britain. As you know, it promotes beauty of Indian classical music and also fusion with other meaningful global art forms. And some of those have been praised by many wonderful musicologists all over the world. And Saudha has started this session. And then many world-class performers all across the globe from different cultures have already joined and will join in future sessions. So please do support as you have been supporting, as you've been doing since April, since last April. So many thanks, and please do leave your suggestions, and especially the artists who would like to connect, who would like to be the part of this forum. Many thanks for showing your interest. We'll respond. As you know, our aim is to bring the best of each genre from all across the world. So this predominantly it promotes Indian classical music, dance, and other art forms, but it also promotes the best of global music, the global art as well. So our aim is to bring the best for you and present hypnotic performances so that it can be in the association while you are self-isolating at home. So many thanks, and please do share and let your friends have the opportunity to be the part of this session. If you'd like to know more about Saudha, www.saudha.org, you'll find many details about our previous events and our future vision, the way we are aiming to be the global brand. So let us come back to Guillermo. Many thanks, Guillermo, again for joining from Argentina. How are you anyway? Before you start your performance, how are you? How are the people in Argentina now?
Well, I'm doing fine. Argentina is still under lockdown, so we have been under lockdown for 120 days already, right. And it seems it will still have some time until we get out. But I can say that within Latin America, we didn't struggle as much as some other neighbor countries. So in a sense, it's a relief, but still we have to cope with the problems that of quarantine, and also the problems that musicians and dancers and artists throughout the world are having. Because we cannot perform in the places where we used to, and there's no perspective in the midterm about when we are going to do that again. that we always enjoyed doing, and we don't know now. But and there's also some kind of feeling that we are not as essential as right. other people around, but that's fine as well. I mean, we have to acknowledge that and work from there.
Okay, great. We will find out more about how you're self-isolating, how are your artistic activities helping you and benefiting you and also how you're developing your artistic vision, artistic activities while you're self-isolating at home. But let us start with the performance,
Okay.
Guillermo. And if you'd like to give a bit brief detail about the performance you are doing now, feel free, or you can straight jump into the performance.
Yes, you introduced me saying I was fascinated about the music of Astor Piazzolla when I started. And this is a piece, one of the first pieces I heard in which he was playing the bandoneon as a solo instrument.
Right.
And it's called, well, the translation would be something like The Little House of My Parents. So it's kind of nostalgic, but
right.
Almost all time with nostalgic. So here I go.
Many, many thanks.
So that was The Little House of My Parents by Astor Piazzolla.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We can have perhaps another performance, Guillermo, before we move on to...
a short waltz.
Yeah.
Actually, I chose a couple of pieces that were from my beginnings when I started with the instrument. So the following ones that you will hear are these.
Thank you very much, Guillermo. So, Guillermo, can you just tell us a bit more on bandinion, the instrument that you are playing, a bit of heritage of this instrument?
So the instrument is a relative of the accordion, as you can see. The system is almost the same, but it sounds different actually. If you have to relate the instrument with another instrument relation, considering the sound, it sounds more like an organ, a portable organ. It has the sound of a harmonium, maybe. And this is, of course, because it was created thinking about having a sort of a portable organ. It is said that it could be used for processions, religious processions. And it was created in the 19th century by a German musicologist. And of course, the beginnings of the instrument are a bit obscure because the instrument wasn't successful at all in Germany. As you can see, it wasn't used as much in the procession. So it actually started to arrive to Argentina as a sort of exotic thing because people here didn't know how to play it as well by the 20th century. But this is coincident with the time in which tango music started to rise in Buenos Aires. So usually melodies here were played by a flute or a clarinet. And when some people started to learn how to play some melodies, when they managed to know where the buttons were and where the notes were, the scales, and the instruments started to be used in tango music. And then, well, it was like a sort of explosion because the sound is so peculiar that it was soon associated with tango music. So the bandoneon and tango were conceived as one thing. And by the 40s, the 50s, it was almost unthinkable to hear music, tango music, without the bandoneon. So this was the way that the instrument made through from Germany, from the churches to Buenos Aires, to the pubs and dance halls.
So when you do solo, this is understandable. Do you compose music for yourself as well? When you do solo, do you compose music, or you just play something which is some of the composers, some of the great composers?
Well, so basically, when I play solo, I play arrangements which were composed by usually some of the greatest players of the instrument. But these arrangements are, well, actually arranged from the classical pieces of tango. So those people that were composing in the 20s, the 30s, that actually made most of the music that we know as classics of tango. Well, all that people composed that music, and then the bandoneonists came and wrote the arrangements.
Right. Okay. We will come back to you again, Guillermo, in relation to. Well, we'd like to know when you do in collaboration with other instrument or vocal, perhaps. How did you do this? Or is it possible to collaborate with other area of music? For an example, Indian music or something like this, and how did you collaborate? Because you did collaborate. You did some collaboration in London Orchestra, as far as I can remember. We'd like to talk about that experience later on. If anyone would like to ask anything to Guillermo, or otherwise I can move on to Anuradha. Shumana or Mitul?
I'm totally fascinated to know about this musical instrument, bandoneon, and I thought it's very similar with piano accordion. You know, Bollywood old melodies, they used to use musicians, they used to have piano accordion, but the height was here, but you play bandoneon like that, not on your chest. You know, that is the difference I could see. And of course, really, really nice to hear this news. Is it very common in Argentina? Commonly played, Guillermo?
No, it's not. No, it's not. Let's say that it was an instrument that children or teenagers would like to play, but in the 50s. Then rock music arrived. The Beatles.
Same
and the
thing
Rolling
in Bollywood.
Stones.
Nobody plays piano accordion now. So it's totally.
But yet, in the 90s, let's say like 30 years ago, there was a huge revival of tango music. And now I could say it's not something that many Argentinians want to do. It's something very, a bit more common in the big cities, like in Buenos Aires. That some part of the young people are interested in tango, so they approach the instrument, or they approach any other instrument like violin, but they want to play tango as well. So that's it.
I think bandoneon and piano accordion, this holds a huge heritage. I think people want to know the heritage of Argentina and the music, the old music. Then they would like to know about all these instruments like bandoneon and piano accordion. So it is very important, definitely.
Did Guillermo say that it was evolved in Germany, wasn't it?
Pardon?
If I haven't missed you, the bandoneon was evolved in Europe, is it?
Yes, in Germany.
Exactly, in Germany.
Germany.
Yeah.
Yes, and it actually stopped being produced by the Second World War. In the time where the factories shut down, or they were converted in bullet factories. But so it's really uncommon to find an instrument that is created today.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Guillermo. We'll come back to you. Anuradha ji, many thanks. We'll go back. Would like to perhaps start with your performance again. But if you kindly tell us a bit more on your, how did you learn perhaps the Kathak, about your gurus? And perhaps when we'll come back again, we would like to find out about your the collaboration. You performed all over the world, more than 600 performances, 600 events, all across India and all across the world. So that is very phenomenal journey you have. Would like to know a bit more, but if you kindly tell us briefly, how did you start with Kathak?
अनुराधा जी, आप सुन रही है ना? आप अनम्यूट कर लीजिए खुद को। आपको ये पूछ रहे हैं कि आपने कथक कैसे सीखना शुरू किया? आपका जो जर्नी है, ये इसका शुरुआत कैसे हुई? और आपका जो गुरुज है, उनके बारे में थोड़ा सा बताना हमको।
And if you kindly unmute, Anuradha ji, if you kindly unmute yourself, we can't hear you.
आप खुद को अनम्यूट कर लीजिए। आपका जो माइक्रोफोन है, हाँ जी, हाँ म्यूट पे है।
No, this is still mute. This is still muted.
अभी अभी भी म्यूट पर है, आपको ना उसका जो माइक्रोफोन बटन है उसमें प्रेस करके उसको अनम्यूट करना है। अभी नहीं हुई। आपका जो डिवाइस है ना, लैपटॉप या मोबाइल, उस पर होगा जो।
Yeah, right.
अभी हुआ।
Yes. मैं चाइल्डहुड से मुझे पैशन था क्लासिकल डांस ज्वाइन करने का। आवाज कम कर दीजिए अभी। और मैंने डांस सीखना शुरू किया चाइल्डहुड से। फिर आई गॉट अ स्कॉलरशिप फ्रॉम एमपी गवर्नमेंट एंड मेरी ट्रेनिंग चली तकरीबन 4 years डेली फॉर 8 hours डेली। रिगरस ट्रेनिंग करी कथक की। मेरे गुरु पंडित कार्तिक राम जी, पंडित रामलाल जी रहे हैं। और मैं रायगढ़ घराने को बिलोंग करती हूँ। रायगढ़ दरबार में लखनऊ, जयपुर और बनारस के गुरु रहते थे और साथ ही साथ तबले के भी बहुत विद्वान रहते थे। और कहना चाहिए उस वक्त हर जगह के जो विद्वान कलाकार थे वो सब मेरे गुरु जी जहाँ के थे वहां पर रहते थे। तो उन सबसे उन्होंने ज्ञान प्राप्त किया, नॉलेज एक्वायर किया और फिर उसके बाद जो हमें दिया है वो हम आज कर पा रहे हैं। और मैंने एमए मास्टर्स डिग्री भी कथक में करी है, गोल्ड मेडलिस्ट हूँ, टॉप किया है यूनिवर्सिटी, इंदिरा कला संगीत यूनिवर्सिटी। और इसकी बहुत डिफिकल्ट आर्ट है ये, तो बहुत ज़्यादा प्रैक्टिस, रिगरस ट्रेनिंग बहुत ज़रूरी है इसके लिए करना। डेली 6 hours ट्रेनिंग की ज़रूरत पड़ती है। और मेरी अब आदत में है 2 hours का कॉन्सर्ट करने की। और मेरा फर्स्ट डेब्यू परफॉर्मेंस था फेस्टिवल ऑफ इंडिया इन यूएसएसआर। और फिर उसके बाद अभी जस्ट मैक्सिको में फेस्टिवल ऑफ इंडिया इन मैक्सिको अभी किया 2019 दिसंबर में। गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने मुझे भेजा था। वहाँ पर अलग अलग सिटीज में मैंने 2 hours के परफॉर्मेंसेस दिए। और लगातार कोशिश यही रहती है कि मैं अपने ट्रेडिशन को आगे बढ़ाऊं और प्रोपोगेट करूं।
Great, fantastic. Thank you very much. Let us go for the next performance, Anuradha ji.
Yeah, and now I will present a pure classical technical work of 9.5 beat tal. 9.5 beat tal. You will watch.
Absolutely beautiful, absolutely hypnotic. No words actually we have to express. Great. Absolutely breathtaking. This is absolutely mesmerizing.
Rainy season. Yeah, this composition, it is based on monsoon, rainy season,
Exactly.
clouds, thundering, lightning.
And then the way you were telling the story of deer hunting.
Yeah, deer hunting.
How beautifully depicted. Excellent, excellent.
And it is explained with ghungru. And the bowl is and that piece, the river and the fish and the flamingo catches the fish and fly away. And the bowl is kata 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 gay kat gay kat gay kat gay da 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 ti ti na tir kit tir kda dirta de ta kana tir kda 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 kana tir kda. And in the lotus,
exactly.
You watched the lotus and the honeybee, and the bowl was da da gana deta dhanne kit tit kat kat ginda tik kat ga di ga na da ti ka ka ti na da kit ta kit ta kit ta gat ginda 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 gat ginda.
Beautiful, just simply.
Yeah, it is based. It is all the bowls. It is based on foot percussion. Foot percussion as art is the only art we have. So we are so lucky.
Exactly, Anuradha ji. What a divine performance you offered for our audiences. I mean, I'm losing the words. Trust me, such a breathtaking, hypnotic performance you did. Audiences who are watching, please do share. Please do share, and let your friends have this rare opportunity to be the part of this breathtaking performance. And also, as you know, just before Anuradha ji, Guillermo also offered a completely wonderful, completely, different, entirely different kind of performances, which is a global music, which is Saudha's commitment, as you know, to promote global music. And as part of this commitment, such a talented musician he is, and then he offered also some other alternative but breathtaking, hypnotic performance. Many thanks. Let us have some audience's feedback, but let me see if Shumana would like to add something. I'm sure you have lost your words like myself. Shumana, is just
No,
simply.
my head is still spinning. My head is still spinning round and round. And लाजवाब तैयारी आपकी अनुराधा जी, बहुत बहुत क्या बात, लाजवाब तैयारी आपकी. You know, you were dancing with your whole body, with your hand movements, with your footwork, with chakras, you know, unlimited numbers of chakras.
But this
But
is
my
this is
heart,
the traditional,
yes,
traditional
but
sound.
my heart wants to see your dance with only expression now. I don't know whether, you know, I will get some expressions, only dance moves with only expression, Anuradha ji, if you can, if you can.
Many,
at
many,
the
many
end.
thanks.
विनोद
Let us
ठुमरी लगा देंगे क्या?
exactly,
Yeah,
but let
right.
us. I will come back to you, Anuradha ji, after
Okay.
we have some performance from Guillermo. Let us have
Okay.
some
अभी रुक जाए,
audience feedback. This is just incredible performance, and this is the traditional, authentic traditional presentation of Kathak. How beautifully Anuradha ji portrayed the visual interpretation of music. Wonderful. Let us have some feedback from audiences. I can see it's very hard job for Mitul. More than 1,000 comments already there. So it's absolutely hard job to find out perhaps the right one. But please do share those who I can see many wonderful feedbacks from audiences. If you like it, please do share for your friends. They will like it too. Taposh Rai also joined, one of our Taposhis, one of our regular audiences, joined and left some wonderful feedback. Divine radiance is sparkling from the incredible performance. And that is both for Anuradha ji and Guillermo Willis. Mitul, if you'd like to add some more, please. Thank you.
I'm really struggling to keep up with the speed of the comments. Amruta Singh, thanks Saudha Facebook concert series for showcasing so many beautiful performances. Sebastian Valdez, gorgeous. Then Talin Vinod, super cool. Rituraj Singh, beautiful. Amruta Singh, beautiful and lyrical. Then Raksha Tiwari, she is my mom. She's a great dancer.
She's simply a Kathak queen, actually. She's a good Kathak queen. Trust me, that unbelievable performance.
And then Raj Singh, salute to the most versatile dancer of India and Kathak. You are beyond words. It's the perfect talent matched with cultural heritage. Many thanks.
Thank you. This is a really hard job to find out the right comments from about more than 1,000 comments. So please do leave your comments. We'll try to pick up randomly as your back. Please forgive us as well. There's an honest apology if you did request anything and if we couldn't manage to place it to our artist. As you can see, more than 1,000 comments there, so it's very hard to find out perhaps the right one, but we'll try to keep an active eye on comment. Anuradha ji, we will come back to you. Let us go back to Guillermo, and then I'll come back to Guillermo. Many thanks. I'm sure you have the similar experience after watching this beautiful visual interpretation. Our music is a bit of the dance form is actually an interpretation of our music. So let us have another performance, and let's have a bit of talk. But Anuradha ji, will come back to you perhaps. Can you hear us? Hello, Anuradha ji.
I think she's already dancing.
She perhaps can't hear us. I was just thinking whether I should. Okay, let's have another performance from her. Right, that's fine. That's okay. if perhaps Sumana asks her to.
बंद करना है ना, बंद करो। अभी मेरा नहीं आ रहा है, अभी नहीं दिखा रहे।
Anuradha ji, you are still you are on there. Because can you is it possible to translate? Is it possible to talk to her in Hindi? Or Sumana, would it be possible to talk to her in Hindi?
I think she was practicing.
Okay.
No, I'm performing.
Please perform.
अनुराधा जी आपको सुनाई दे रहा है? अनुराधा जी आपको सुनाई दे रहा है? सुनाई दे रहा है? आपका परफॉर्मेंस अगर बाद में रखा जाए तो ठीक है? After Guillermo, you know, the performance I asked you to do it with your expression. शायद आप ठुमरी के साथ डांस करना चाह रहे हैं, तो गुलेरमो के बाद, ठीक है? So if you can mute your you know, sound, that would be great.
Okay, right.
Thank you very much. So Guillermo, can we have another performance in the rule talk after this?
Okay, well, the next one is not a tango piece, but it's quite contemplative and nostalgic as well. So it's actually a piece from the 17th century. So we'll see how it goes.
Beautiful, 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 wonderful.
Well, that
Great.
was a very contemplative piece. I advised you before, and I hope you could hear the organ sound, the quality of the organ. It was written for organ, and now I'm using it just to give another taste of the sound of the instrument, of my instrument, which I think it could be appropriate to convey that feeling of the organ in the church with a very sad and dense atmosphere.
So, Guillermo, if you kindly tell us, when you perhaps accompany, so you work as a soloist, but you work as part of orchestration as well, or did you manage to accompany perhaps vocalists with this instrument?
Yes, actually, I would say that musicians, tango musicians, we accompany dancers. Our main work is to play at dance halls. And tango is not only a music genre, but it is, I would say, it's a social venue. So it's the music that is played a bit like jazz or and we usually play in tango venues, in dance halls, where people go at night to dance in couples, like as you could see it in ballroom or other kind of European dances. And so we usually get together, the musicians, we create a band, and we play usually with a vocalist. Vocalists are much required because the lyrics in tango are quite important at the time of dancing. The words convey also the nostalgic and sad feeling, so it makes a really nice combination of lyrics and dancing, and the orchestra accompanying a vocalist. But we also play without vocalists. We don't have much trouble with that. And sometimes it's quite similar to jazz, where we know like a standard set of repertoire, like I don't know, like 100 or 200 songs or pieces of tunes, and then we get together. Maybe we don't know each other, and we play some piece that we know. And if we keep the tempo at a rhythmic pace, we don't have any trouble, and people will dance and will enjoy the music. So collaboration, I would say, it's essential of tango music. Solo playing is actually rather strange.
So, I mean, can you play quite in improvised form as well, or it has to be a planned?
Well, usually when we play those tunes that we know, really much similar to jazz music, we leave some space for improvising. But improvising is usually not conceived in the way that is conceived in jazz music, where we have like, okay, so we repeat the piece, but then we leave the melody to do whatever it likes. So what happens is that the improvisation is within the phrasing, and we have improvisation in articulations, improvisation in how we, let's say, how we play the melody at a faster rhythm, or we actually take the tempo, make the tempo go slower by leading the orchestra while we improvise. So the improvisation is much more on the way we lead the band with us.
Great. So I'm just curious, Guillermo, while you were playing, I was thinking it can, with your beautiful music, you can perhaps interpret the power of words as well. only because I mean, I was just wondering whether you managed to collaborate with poetry recitation. So because you are a friend of Gaby, a friend of mine, who's such a wonderful poet and a wonderful friend of mine. So and this music can somehow interpret the power of words. So did you ever try with working with poets, or or poetry recitation?
Very informally, very informally. So, I mean, it's a world that needs to be explored, really. And I would say that actually tango music from classical times in the 40s and the 50s, they were used to go out with poets, and the poets were writing the lyrics of tango music.
Wow.
Now it's quite uncommon, but I have to say that most of tango lyrics that are famous have been written by poets, and very famous poets actually in Argentina. Collaboration with poets, we are not used to do that now. I think it would be delightful to do that.
Oh,
anyway.
great. Well, then let us plan, Guillermo. Let us plan collaborating with poets, collaborating with dance form, Indian dance form. That is something that I was thinking of. And also we are developing a musical very soon. So this instrument, I was just thinking how this instrument could be best used in making meaningful collaboration of different arts forms around the globe. So because you're quite flexible, let us plan. I will talk to Gaby and then let us plan something in future. Let us have another performance, and Shumana and Mitul, if you'd like to add something. After your performance, we'll see how I will ask Mitul to perhaps read some poems, if that's okay. But let us have another performance. And Shumana, if you'd like to add something. And when I'll come back to you next, Guillermo, I personally would like to know as well, because you're an art historian. So how is there, I mean, did you try ever to develop some sort of interpretation of a painting or art through the music? That is my next question. Now, how do you, I mean, your journey a bit, if you briefly describe about your journey on history of art, but I'll come back to you for this. But let's have Shumona, if you'd like to add something.
After such an high energetic performance from Anuradha ji, your music was so soothing, Guillermo. You know, we were just so immersed into your music. I can't tell you. And I think these instruments have a lot of cultural values regarding our heritage. So these are so important. We would like to know about all these instruments, which are not commonly used nowadays. You know, musical sound can be mechanical, and nowadays it's very, very mechanical. You know, each sound can be produced in the recording studio, but I think these instruments produce the natural sound, which is very rare nowadays. I think so. So you have done a marvelous job, Guillermo. So stick to your bandoneon. Stick to your bandoneon.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, I agree. I fully agree with the. Exactly. I fully agree with the analogic kind of sound. It's something that it's not really seen very much seen
We can
now.
see that. We can see that. Thank you.
So let's have another performance, Guillermo, before we move on to Anuradha ji. Let's have another performance.
Reading a poem called Love by Pablo Neruda. Because of you,
That
in
was a
God,
piece that is called Buenos Aires Winter, also by Astor Piazzolla, which who I mentioned before.
reading a poem by Pablo Neruda. It's called Love. Because of you, in gardens of blossoming flowers, I ache from the perfumes of spring. I have forgotten your face. I no longer remember your hands. How did your lips feel on mine? Because of you, I love the white statues drowsing in the parks, the white statues that have neither voice nor sighed. I have forgotten your voice, your happy voice. I have forgotten your eyes. Like a flower to its perfume, I'm bound to my vague memory of you. I live with pain that is like a wound. If you touch me, you will make to me an irreparable harm. Your caresses enfold me like climbing vines on melancholy walls. I have forgotten your love, yet I seem to glimpse you in every window. Because of you, the heady perfumes of summer pain me. Because of you, I again seek out the signs that precipitate desires, shooting stars, falling objects. Thank you.
Many thanks, Mitul, and many thanks, Guillermo, for this absolutely serene music. And like Shimona said, so natural and so serene, so serene. Someone just wrote, I can see, Sebastian Valdez wrote, poetry is a huge part of tango. So tango is something that we need to collaborate with. If Gabi is watching, next collaboration with Guillermo on tango. And the number of, I can see whether, let me see, someone just wrote, it's great to have such a beautiful, Amrito Sagdio Singh, it's great to have such a beautiful and outstanding artist on this digital platform. Many thanks, Amritaji. Thank you, Show the Facebook page, for showing interest in instrumental Gongoro Badan. And I can fantastic poetry Mitul Abnubhumik wrote. And someone just wrote, this is, like I said, serene music. Fantastic. Great. Many thanks for your beautiful comments. One of our friends are also watching, but if you left any comment, unfortunately, we can't retrieve this. Devashish Bhattacharya from Manchester, but unfortunately, we can't retrieve. Outstanding concept of concert. Never seen such type of digital performance. Never in instrumental. Never seen such type of digital performance. It was simply superb. Amruta Sagdio Singh. Many thanks, Amruta ji. Please support this initiative. We will. We have a vision of internationalism actually, and then the music is universal, art is universal. So that's why we try to collaborate with different art forms all around the globe. So many thanks for beautiful comments as well. Sebastian Valdez, bravo, Guillermo Willis. Yes, exactly. How beautifully you perform. So Guillermo, I'm coming back again to you. with some of the questions, but let us move on to Anuradha ji. Hello, Anuradha ji. Many thanks. We would like to start with performance again, but if you kindly tell us a bit more on your artistic journey. You performed 600 events all across the world. So which countries did you visit so far? And then did you manage to do any more collaborations with other art forms, other global art forms? If you kindly tell us briefly about this. Shumana, if you kindly translate this to Anuradha ji in Hindi or Mitul, whoever, because Anuradha ji said she would like to have the question in Hindi so that she can answer in Hindi.
Go on, Mitul. Mituli, you go on. You can do a better job than me.
I missed. Can you repeat the question? I was trying to retrieve some comments. I missed.
Right. Okay. Which countries did Anuradha ji so far? Because she visited about she did about 600 performances all across the globe. So which country she perhaps visited, if she tell us about this briefly? And did she do any more collaboration with other art forms? Because she's a Kathak dancer, but did she do with some other art forms, other dances, other dance forms, not necessarily from globe, but also from Indian heritage?
अनुराधा जी, आपको ये पूछ रहे हैं कि आप किस किस देश में सफर की? आप बहुत देश गई है, आप सुन रही है ना? आप म्यूट पर हैं, तो आप किस किस जगह गई वो आप थोड़ा सा अगर बताना। और आप कथक
हेलो या आवाज आई आपको? हाँ, मैं बताती हूँ। I visited a lot of countries for my performance. Actually, I am a outstanding category artist of Ministry of Culture, Government of India, and I am a soloist mainly. So I am used to perform 2 hours performance. I visited Singapore for Surya Festival and Singapore Fine Arts Festival, and then I went to Abu Dhabi in Indian Embassy, and I performed in Persian Sufi Festival in Thailand. Bangkok Embassy, Indian Embassy of Bangkok, and I visited. I told you earlier, I visited Russia, Moscow for Festival of India in USSR by government of India, and I visited a lot of countries. I visited many. Recently, I went to Mexico and performed in 5 cities. So actually, I am soloist. So
right.
Hamisha, always I perform solo Kathak.
Right. Okay. That's understandable.
कथक के अलावा इंडिया में ही और कोई डांस फॉर्म या कविताओं के साथ कभी कथक किया और ऐसा कुछ किया?
Yeah. I have performed on Amrapali and Buddha, Lord Buddha, and the play theater and Kathak. Theater and Kathak.
Wow.
Yeah, right. Amrapali and Buddha, Lord Buddha, and I used to perform actually Ghungru Vadan. I evolved Ghungru Vadan. This is there is no instrument in the world which is played by our feet. So I evolved this Ghungru Vadan, and in this Ghungru Vadan, you will find the rhythmic patterns, variety of rhythms produced by our Ghungru football, and this is pure music. This is for pure music festival.
Right. Great.
And I also perform in Ghazal, Jashn-e-Ghazal Festival, and in Thumri and Bandesh. I performed a lot and variety of subjects always.
Thank you, Anuradha ji. Let's move on to your next.
Yeah. Now I want to and I want to perform a rhythmic journey of bell, footwork,
Wow. Right.
rhythms, and after that I will perform Thumri of Radha Krishna.
Great.
Please play
Fantastic.
Chalan. Yeah, right.
बड़ा वाला भी निकाल कर ले तो चलिए कनेक्ट नहीं हुआ तो हो जाएगा क्योंकि अपन ने बंद दिया ना ऑन कर दो वो भी लाके रखो ना बड़ा वाला मम्मी का साउंड है ना कुछ तेज कम रख रहे हैं कम मत आ रहा है कम वॉल्यूम में मेरे भी ठीक आ रहा है वही तो बोल रहा था तो समझ नहीं है ना बोला मैंने बंद कर देना था बंद कर देना
Many, many thanks.
Reading some sacred verses by Amir Khusru, reading the translation. What a glow everywhere I see. Oh, mother, what a glow. I have found the beloved. Yes, I found him in my courtyard. I've found my Pir Nizamuddin Aulia. I roamed around the entire world looking for an ideal beloved. And finally, this face has enchanted my heart. The whole world has been opened for me. Never seen a glow like this before. Whenever I see now, he is with me. Oh, beloved, please dye me in yourself. Dye me in the color of the spring, beloved. What a glow. Oh, what a glow. Thank you.
Many, many, many thanks, Anuradha ji.
आप सुन पा रहे मुझे?
It's just simply beautiful. One of our panelists asked for a bit of expression, and what a beautiful abhinaya you did with the Tumri. Wonderful, simply wonderful. We will come back to you again. One of our, I can see 100 of comments there actually. I'm not sure if Mithul would like to pick up some, but one that I saw there, someone called Konika Srivastav said, a great ambassador of Kathak dance like Anuradha Singh ji should be awarded Padma Shri. And we agree on this. And this is from this forum, we also would suggest whoever, if anyone among the authority watches this performance, please, I mean, because we agree with very much with the comment. So please say this beautiful, this wonderful artist should be awarded and recognized, first of all nationally, and then definitely by international forum as well. So many thanks, Anuradha ji. We will come back to you again for the last performance, and for the last concluding note. Shumana, would you like to add something on this before we move on to Guillermo?
Speechless, Anuradha ji. I'm just speechless. How much energy was there in this performance? At some point, I was thinking it's going to be a never-ending performance, really. So, yeah, fantastic. Really enjoyed. Thank you.
Mithul, any other comment?
Yes.
You would like to add on?
I read a few. Debashish Bhattacharya to Guillermo. Interesting instrument, used to seeing it in Spanish music videos. Got a very festive vibe about it. Sunil Furia, absolutely mesmerizing performances. Rao Balraj Singh, wonderful, excellent, and outstanding. Amrita Singh, magnificent and magnetic performances. Kanak Srivastav, global Kathak dance of India, pride of Bhopal and India. Shubir Mukherjee, proud of our country and its rich cultural identity. Amrita Singh, the sound of this instrument, to Guillermo, is mesmerizing. Then Urmila Singh, bahut hi sundar, bahut, no, I can't read, it's in Hindi, sorry. I was trying to, yeah. And then there is a request for Anuradha ji. Can you perform on an Amir Khusru song? Amir Khusru.
Yeah.
Perhaps at your ending note, we'll come back to you again. Anuradha ji, let us start with Guillermo. Many thanks.
Right.
How are you, Guillermo? I'm sure this is one corner, art of the one corner of the world is meeting the art of the another corner of the world. And I'm sure our audiences are loving it. And then Guillermo perhaps equally loving it too. So Guillermo, let us tell, I mean, if you kindly tell us a bit more on your background on our historian of art. And because you are a historian of art, I'm just sharing something that we did before. I mean, we tried to develop some, what's that called? Some interpretation of Frida Kahlo's painting and also Isaac Leviton's painting. I'll share this to you because we need to collaborate very soon after COVID. So through Indian classical music. So music interprets the mood of the painting. And as you know, Frida Kahlo's painting is much more melancholic, and so is Isaac Leviton. Hugely melancholic. If you look at this painting, it talks about a lamentation of heart sometimes. Frida Kahlo's life was depicted through her painting, as you know. And then Indian classical music is more or less hugely melancholic, and we try to portray at least the mood of the painting through music. So did you ever come up with any idea of developing any kind of interpretation of painting because you have a background in painting and through your music? And then if you kindly add briefly about your journey in the history of art.
Well, my journey through the history of art, I could say I do both things at the same time. I cannot split my my life
Is
into.
it possible to,
yes.
Guillermo, your sound is getting a bit decreased, a bit low.
A bit low. Let me see.
Can you have it a bit up?
Is it better now?
Yeah,
Can you hear me
that's
now?
better. Yeah, that's better.
Okay, yes.
That's better.
Yeah, I just placed the mic closer. So, well, I was telling that I cannot split like the two areas of my life. I simply do both at the same time, even if I consider them that they are unrelated to each other at some points. But I always try to do one at a faster pace, and then when I feel down with my music, I go back to art history immediately, because that's like the life of the artists and the academics as well, has its ups and downs as well as in any other aspects of life. And it's actually excellent to have another world where you can jump into it and then go back when you feel better. But with regard to your main question, I could say it is possible. Actually, it's feasible to create music with my instrument that could relate to paintings in some way, or to artists, specific artists, as you mentioned, Frida Kahlo. Now, it is really hard to choose what you would like to transmit of the paintings or of the artist and their personality as well. The instrument has so many possibilities. Like it's a really broad range of sounds that you can get from it. But then it comes like the key point. You need to find a composer that could really interpret that. Because if you don't find a composer that could know of paintings, of music, of the instrument, then you have a problem. You can do something that can try to achieve that, but it could be very hard to actually convey an original, essential feeling of what the paintings really mean. And that's the problem. I am not a composer, so that could get me into trouble if I try to use paintings.
So I mean, your journey is very interesting. Art historian, is it in academic capacity, or you do it as a freelance art historian?
Well, I used to do it in an academic capacity. I was working at the National Museum of Fine Arts in Buenos Aires, usually working with drawings. So yeah, it was quite academic. Now I'm a freelancer more, and I devote almost all my time to playing.
Great.
So you see, I jumped back into the world of music.
So, Guillermo, let us have your concluding 2 performances. We can have 3, actually. We can have 3, if that's okay. And then that is your concluding performance. Well, however, we'll go by the flow.
I would love to play only one piece, if you allow me.
Okay, great. No, that's fantastic. Okay.
But let me introduce the piece. It's a piece of a singer that it's perfectly fine if you've never heard about him. He's called Carlos Gardel. He was very, very, very famous in the 20s and the 30s of the past century in Paris and, of course, in Buenos Aires. But he is actually a reference in tango music, and he died tragically afterwards, as many of the rock stars as well. And we remember him as basically it's the icon of tango music. The lyrics he created are like a reference for most of our urban tradition. It's like if we see the city through his words, and it's amazing. But when I play the instrument and I reproduce the melodies of the lyrics that I remember hearing, it's immediate. I immediately start to reproduce the feeling and the representation of those words. So this tune is called Melody of the Neighborhood as well. You can see they talk too much of the neighborhood.
Great. Guillermo, you did. Hello, can you hear me? No.
Reading a short poem, The Raindrop and the Lily by Hannah Flagg Gould. A cloud that had hung like a veil over the sun was melted and came to the earth on the run, when one of its parts, in a round sparkling drop, that coursed down the air on its way made a stop, to crown a fair lily that, lowly and pale, was bending to pour out her sweets over the veil, because not another of all the bright shower could bath in descending so lovely a flower. Thank you.
Thank you, Mithul, and many thanks, Guillermo, to enlighten us with completely exceptional, phenomenal music. I like the setting of your house as well, Guillermo. It's quite identical with houses in Bengal. So many thanks, Guillermo. If you'd like to add your concluding note, can you just tell us before we move on to Shumona and other panel members, and my plan is to finish with Anuradhaji's dancing. But can you tell us what is the connection with London? Because you performed in Chamber Orchestra of London, you performed in many dance halls. So what is your connection with London then?
Well, I actually went there to do a master course in art history, and I met our friend in common, Gavi.
Exactly.
Again, there in London. We met in Buenos Aires years ago, and then it was incredible to see her around. And I needed to work at the same time as I was studying, so I was very fortunate to have my instrument with me. So it was amazing, the response of the people, because there are almost no bandoneon players in London. There are two the most. And it was amazing because I could easily find a place to play. People hosted me with such an amazing generosity as well. And I was incredibly happy and grateful for all that kindness of people from London. So I was playing many nights at tango venues.
Yeah, you collaborated with the London Chamber Orchestra. You collaborated with London Chamber Orchestra and London Tango Orchestra, which is great. Fantastic.
Yes,
would like to,
the London Chamber Orchestra actually was planning a tango tour to China at the time. And they weren't going to take a bandoneon player with them, because there weren't bandoneon players in London until I arrived. And you see, I had been very lucky of being there.
Many thanks, Guillermo. If you'd like to add anything as your concluding note, many thanks for joining as part of this series, as part of today's session, and many thanks for your beautiful, serene music. And then look forward to collaborating with you with some unique ideas, so that each can ideas of merging Eastern music perhaps, or Eastern dance form, or Eastern or global poetry with bandoneon, the instrument that you play, and then look forward to having you or collaborating with you very soon. But let us, if you'd like to add something as your concluding note.
Yes, I would like to say at first, many thanks for all your kindness for hosting me today. And it was a privilege to share this venue with Anuradha Singh, really. I was seeing her figure spinning around on my screen, and I couldn't believe it. It was amazing. It was really a privilege. And to you, of course, my gratefulness for being kind and taking the time to hear me. And I really hope you could get a taste of what is tango music.
Exactly.
And if you feel confident enough to go dancing at some point, I would actually encourage you to do that.
Exactly. So I'm being tempted. We are actually being tempted to collaborate with your instrument in many different ways in future. Many thanks. Shumona, our plan is to finish by Anuradhaji's performance, but if you kindly add something as your concluding notes.
Yeah, many thanks, Kaishibhai and Saudha, for having me tonight. As always, I just want to mention each and every concerts organized by Saudha, I always looked forward to and enjoyed being part of it. And great to see that Saudha is showcasing different types of instruments and different forms, dance forms as well. alongside with different styles of classical music. And today's concert was no exception. It was a combination between energy and melody to me,
Exactly.
the combination of energy and melody. So thank you so much, Guillermo, and thank you so much, for giving me peace of mind. And, I after when I heard your music, then I thought that, I came running and we had peace in front of a calm sea in front of that. So with lot of melody in it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Many thanks. Mithul, if you'd like to add your concluding note, please.
Yes, it was wonderful to experience the integration of two very different art forms tonight. One extremely high in energy and the other one so soothing in nature. They complemented each other beautifully. Immense thanks and gratitude to Guillermo and Anuradha ji for your time today. Thank you for joining us. I wish you all the best on your future endeavors. Thank you.
Anuradha ji, our plan is to finish today's performance, today's session by your performance. But if you kindly add something as your concluding note before your last performance, would like to add something? Would like to tell us anything?
Yeah, today, I'm very fortunate today, and thankful for Saudha Arts FB page. And again, I would like to perform in the future. Thank you, all the team members.
Look forward
Thank
to
you so much.
You are a true ambassador of Kathak dance. And like someone said, this kind of artist should be awarded Padmasri as soon as possible. And then we agree with this comment. The hard work that you did, and then the passion that you input, and the way you preached and propagated this beautiful art form for to the next generation is simply amazing. So many thanks for joining as part of today's session.
Thank you.
And let us finish with your performance. Thank you. What a stunning visual interpretation of spiritual Sufi music. Many, 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 many thanks, Anuradha ji. Many, many thanks, Guillermo, for offering us such a beautiful moment, such a breathtaking moment. Look forward to working with you, collaborating with you. And those many thanks to those audiences who left many, many inspiring comments. That is just amazing. That's amazing. And those who shared this thread, live streaming, and let your friends have the opportunity to be the part of this session. Many thanks. Please stay tuned. Day after tomorrow on Sunday, this session will bring one of the best ghazal singer. If you just follow Mehdi Hasanji's nephew, and then if you just follow our publicity, please follow our publicity. You'll be aware of the next session that I'm personally looking forward to. So a wonderful ghazal singer on this Sunday. So we'll be engaging in talk and performances, a bit history, background on ghazal. Many thanks to those who shared, who supported. Many thanks to Shumona for joining as part of this session. Many thanks, Mitul. And have a wonderful rest of the evening and good night to all of you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.